You are listening to Let's Go, the weekly anime podcast about weekly anime from Dynamite in the Brain and Secret of the Sailor Madness. So come along and hang with the Let's Go gang. It's Dwayne.
Hello.
It's Niall.
Ari.
And it's me, Brian. And on this episode, we are covering anime that aired the week of July the 13th to July the 19th, 2024, starting with The Elusive Samurai, Episode 2, The Gentle Uncle.
So, you know the way, like, it's like the first episode looked really good, and it's like maybe the second one isn't going to look very good. Wrong, fucker. This is also good.
I am more wondering how in God's name we're going to sustain this. They cannot hold up like this.
We gotta have a clip show. We gotta have like one episode that really shits the bed, or Pact with the Devil. I don't know. There's something fucking going on here.
It will quiet down a bit.
In
oncoming arcs.
Give them a chance to
they're going to eventually get to the temple. They can camp it down then.
Yeah.
I know there will be an episode where like Tokiyuki has to face Donald Lord in a showdown of etiquette. So you probably slow it down a bit there too. But God, when it's on, it's fucking on.
So this is the episode where we learn what happened to the brother before he got his head cut off.
And when he got his head cut off, and seeing his head get cut off multiple times from multiple angles, not quite, but it's just really trying to drive home. It's like, yeah, this shit's fucked. Which is like, yeah, it would.
He did.
Because we open with the uncle / bodyguard of his half brother going. It's like, oh fuck, I'm glad I found you. It's like, keep your head down. I'll talk to these guards. I'll figure out. I'll say you're my kid.
He's over there.
Get his ass, guys. Because that way he can get in good with the guys who won the war. By one of the kids.
It won't be any good though if you gamble all your money away. If you just put at this like destitute, like raving lunatic who's just out in the street, who's as we are told in no uncertain terms, his weird behavior has driven all of his friends away.
And I think when I was first reading the manga, I was kind of like, is this how this thing is? Like, he's literally turning into a demon, and it's like, no, he's figuratively turning into a demon, but the visuals they use makes him look like he's literally turning into a demon.
No, what was kind of great on that. Now, aside from fucking the suggestion that there's some kind of divine power at work here.
Yeah.
You see these other kind of, let's say, supernatural embellishments and kind of, but that's kind of what it is. That's what the comic is good at, and that's why we kind of the comic book was embellishing that, but it's not trying to do all the time. Like kind of noticed here, like the straight rip from the panel. No, this is like, if we're embellishing the visuals here, we're going to do it. Let our animation director and our artists just do that embellishing, right? Like, let's go wild and wacky for it, and that's what's really good. It's like capturing that very kind of surreal atmosphere of a young lad who's been thrown into a very surreal situation. Just his whole family killed. His uncle's out to get him. All this weird stuff has been going on, and it's just, again, I don't know how the fuck I'm going to keep this up. It's just like really, really good. Fucking this marriage of the thing.
So yeah, it's initially our elusive samurai kid, he's hiding out in a shack with the weird priest who insists on playing like the game of life or something like that, essentially.
In the future, this would be called a board game.
It's a specific game. But I can't think of the name of it.
It's a specific video game board game.
Million Road, I think, is the
the
series of them.
He's seen it in the future, therefore he can make his own board and play it now. Is the logic?
Again, they mess around with that. It's like, like when the other. When his child retainers are playing it later, it just cut to like, oh, here's a shot from the video game, the legally distinct version I was going to allude to.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah.
By the way, you're a kid, Lord, so you need kid retainers. So here's some kids. They're about your age, but they're pretty good.
Here's 2 8-year-olds to act as your vassals.
Don't worry, they'll be your arms and legs. By which I mean, they got swords and shit.
Kojiro's good with swords. Ayako is very tall for a age, smashing stuff with a big halberd.
You're good. But before that, he kind of brings him in. It's like, we're gonna hide out here for a bit, and the kid obviously runs off to see if there's anything of his kingdom left. There is not. So yes, the priest has to go, this is my ward that I'm training to be a priest. He's very upset that the Lord got beheaded and that kind of shit. So, because he was serving under him. But all right, you guys have a nice day. And it's like, come here, I'll show you the guy who killed your brother. We'll scope him out so we can get revenge. Wouldn't you like to get revenge, little boy? I was just like, here's 2 children to help you enact your revenge as well. But yeah, his uncle has ruined his life by gambling away all the money I guess he earned giving up this. It'll be one thing if he just took the kid he's supposed to be the bodyguard for and went, here you go, guys, give me a load of money for this kid. But he beat the shit out of him before the kid's head got chopped off. And I was like, fucking hell, man, you're like just like they're really trying to sell home how irredeemable this fucking prick is. But that's the idea behind all these people who smiled at him when he was young and it was like, oh, he was very nice, oh, he was really cool, and it was just like all these cunts turned on me. Like,
yeah.
Yep.
That's what Yoroshiga says to him, like, well, they didn't fight fair, so why the fuck do you gotta fight fair? Just fucking all of these gang up with them, just like mess around, and also just use your abilities to your advantage. Fun. A samurai shouldn't run away, but also a samurai probably shouldn't lose like a punk in every fight he gets into for honor or some bullshit. So just get into it, fucking start evading him, because you're just kids. He's a fucking big guy. He's made the bodyguard because he's actually pretty good with a sword. As he
I did
demonstrates.
like that, where it's just like I wasn't just made it because I'm the uncle or anything. It wasn't just like a perfunctory thing. I did because I am strong. Like takes off his shirt kind of thing, and I was like, okay, that's a good. Yeah.
Because their initial problem is that Kojiro and Ayako are acting as bodyguards and just blocking all
They're
his
trying
attacks.
to protect their young lord. It's just like and he's like, all right, kids, back off, and they're like, what? It's like, no. Watch, and it's like, oh, he's not getting hit. So we don't have to worry about him getting hit. So we can just do the attack. And it's like, yeah, that's the idea, because he sucks at attacking. And at one stage he does swing and he's like, which is so funny in comparison to all the fucking sweet dodging he does.
And you get some fucking mad air in it, and saying, "Oh, like he's not very good with a sword. He's managed to fucking like leap 30 feet in the air and behead his uncle like cleanly and deftly. That's hard for like most trained sword fighters to do."
It's because he had 2 other people like pin the cunt down, basically. Yeah, but yeah, it's the sword's doing a lot of the heavyweight stuff there after leaping 20 feet into the air. But there's so many nice shots. Like one of my favorite ones is and again, just kind of using that really rough animation where it there's very little smears. I noticed. Like I went back and watched a bunch of it. I was like, oh, it's so well fucking done. Where he basically kicks off the guy's sword swinging arm in order to propel himself into the air, and I was like, fuck, that looks good. It's very readable. Like it sounds like it'd be very choppy and everything. It's like, no, I just went back because it's so nice. I wanted to see it twice.
It dips into a lot of that, like, animated brushstroke kind of style as well, when he's like really getting into it. He's kind of like in the flow state and he's just dodging around. Mostly because he just enjoys the danger. He's like, almost got killed there. That was a close one.
I'm getting off on this a little. I don't know what to tell you. That's just my thing. But yeah, it's very well done. It does like the brush style in a few different ways. Like the one where he's explaining, it's like, no, he's the fucking king of dodging. Don't worry about it. And it has the thing of him growing the wings, just like because he throws himself into battle. But that's done in an old painterly kind of brush stroke style. And I was like, oh, that's nice. That's not even using the consistent the consistent style. Like it changes it based off of like, is it an action scene, how choppy do we want it to be, like that kind of thing.
Again with the kind of mixed media thing, is cool in this like action bit. It's even cool, I feel like, but just like, oh, there's a board game from the future, which it was about find it to be. It keeps kind of switching up the visual of it. It's a bit like Kaguya-sama was doing all the time. It's like, fun. This just seems appropriate, having fun here. Just like, just go a little while with it. It's that's really nice. Even like just those other kind of bits isn't just like the fucking like the colors and the patterns and the clothing they're popping. Isn't just like the way their faces are shaded and the lines and everything like that. It's all just seems very just very fucking the solid fun. It's really, really striking. I had this up on the big telly. I thought, Jesus, they can't keep making half-hour movies like this every week. it's not going to be sustainable. Maybe it was just good enough for setting up, not just like, okay, here's how you're going to do. You're going to win by running away, probably by like tiring them out or lead them into a pitfall trap. Fuck them. They fucked you over. You just fucked them over.
Yeah.
But also as well, like, your actual family who was left, they're a bunch of dickheads, but I'm your adopted father figure. No, when he's like chasing him around in the morning, you can see like, someone might really, oh, it's a kind of creepy ass thing to do. No, he's more being like a Yoroshiga being like, and this embarrassing dad. He's just like, come on, give your dad a hug. Come on, you will.
I think what kind of helps that impression is having the girl priest.
Shizuku.
To have her be there and her basically going like, yeah, I know I've had to deal with his fucking shit all the time, but he's all right. Like having her there as that kind of thing to soften his real creepiness, honestly. But yeah.
Yeah, no, it's like it just from like the relationship kind of there. It's like now he's just being a very kind of embarrassing, kind of overly affectionate kind of dad. It's like, well, come on, if your dad a hug, not in a creepy way. It's fine. Jesus, yeah. Let's get more people reading the comic. I hope it's a good comic, and it gets very, very violent. For how bright and colorful it is. Bright, like crimson red blood is also a color. You're going to see lots of that here. And also, I was reminded, it was like, there's so many weirdos yet to come. It was great for the kind of weirdo guys. There's always like a new batch of them for every arc. It's just like, this is great.
A lot of them just minor guys, but it will get into why they're such a fucking weirdo. Enough that you're just like, okay, now I enjoy this guy more. Yeah.
Yeah. And some of them as well, they don't all get killed because it's like loosely based on historical events. They don't die on every battlefield. They might come back again with like a new set of dudes that they'll try and go for again. And then like this guy, this like ostensible villain, he keeps coming back again and again. And I kind of like, I like having that. Like there's this like, respect building up for between these guys. So it's just like when you do meet him again in the battlefield and it's like, okay, now it's life or death. It's just like, shit, actually, for fun, you're my opponent now, but I can kind of now in all this time I can see where you're coming from. You're not a complete dishonorable, just despicable fiend like some of these dudes. That's to come. All your favorites die.
I mean, that's history, so yeah.
Then we've got my dear friend Nokotan, talking of all your favorites dying. Episode 2, Dear Meets Darkness Girl. In which we get, I guess these are 2 chapters. I think next episode is 3 chapters. So Koshitan she's okay with being the president of this club now because she spent her life savings doing up the clubhouse to make it into her utopia. She's got a lovely couch, her favorite teddy bears here. She's just sitting here drinking tea and reading manga.
If I'm stuck in the situation, I can make it nice for myself. So, that's all right. Yeah.
It's been trashed immediately. It must be that fucking deer. I assume.
The amount of graffiti is like, die, deer, fuck you, deer, like written across it. I was like, I don't think it was the deer, but
also,
it would be fair to assume it was the deer based on the first episode.
And there's loads of kunai scattered about the place as well. But she explains to Koshitan, it's dangerous, take cover, there's somebody out there attacking the clubhouse. And then she's almost immediately lured into a trap with a pile of deer crackers.
Which they initially think is a grenade, and based off of the carnage, it's like, yeah, it seems like it is a grenade the way it's framed, but it's like, it's a deer crackers. The deer's like, I must. Like deer crackers or life, man.
To quote one famous deer, why do you always go after the rice crackers? And the deer answered, because it's there, that's why. Like, yeah, it sounds familiar. I'm not sure a deer said that. I'm not sure a deer can talk.
Immediately gets captured in a net. It's completely immobilized and chibi for the rest of the scene. So I guess she'll fit in the net. Yeah.
She was morphing into Kenshiro there briefly. Yes. That wouldn't fit in the net.
Yeah. Oh, that's the other thing. Not only does you want to see her morph into Kenshiro and go like, what the fuck? I turned around and you're a different guy. But also she was talking to the commentator, the narrator, at the start of it. She was having a back and forth conversation. Yeah. So is that just her inner monologue? I don't know. We'll see, I guess.
She got for 3 a.m.
And yes, we discover the assailant is Koshitan's own sister, who has a deep-seated sister complex and is jealous that her big sister's
shacking up with this deer,
stolen by this deer woman.
They're really
And-
focusing on her virginity a lot in this episode and stuff. I was like, could you back the fuck off from that? Like, even a little.
They don't stop there because okay, we're gonna settle this fucking like a one-on-one, like okay, we'll do this battle then, no fun. And if I win, you gotta leave my sister alone, and if you win, I'll endorse this sick relationship and just let you leave you be. Let's have a quiz about who knows the most about her.
Yes.
Why
The
should
whole
maybe not
school is
go going?
invited. It's a
"Boo."
public event.
Yes.
Yeah.
The teacher's hosting it. We've got the Greek chorus of those two girls and that one guy who got hit by the.
They're the
Trident
only
in the first
students with
episode.
faces because we saw those faces get fucking punched in by shrapnel. So I guess they're going to be there. They're going to be representing the student body and then vagueness behind them. Yeah.
Yes. And then the second half is this quiz, which is just Kachitan being embarrassed for. My favorite joke is that we see the score and then we get a cut, and then towards the end of the game, and the score is so ridiculously long.
98,000.
Yes.
Hmm.
And
Got ourselves a tiebreaker.
And the question that's not being answered here because they're neck and neck. You get an obsessive sister knowing all these things about what she does before going to bed, like kissing all her tails and wishing them all good night. We had roll VT, by the way. It's like, no, don't roll a VT. How did you get that VT? But how does Chikinoko know all this? How does she know all
the
these
sister's got
private
a
details?
theory. It's the deep deer state. Basically, it's the kind of the thing. They got a network of information that they share in servers deep underground and transmit through their antlers. It's like, maybe. I mean, with this show, maybe it's
You're out
entirely
there,
possible.
man. You're out there. Well, we've seen antlers do a lot of things, so it's not beyond the bounds of reason. And they are hanging out, the actual deer, poking their heads on the doorways and stuff. So who knows? There could be a whole whisper network here of deer. Just want crackers, yeah.
But so the sister has set up a series of more traps, just thereby negating the entire fucking quiz. It's like, I have actually lured you into my trap, stupid deer. Now take this. Throws another kunai and it's like accidentally slips. It's about to hit her sister, and the deer, like Mr. President's in the way of it and dies. Ascends to heaven. Saint Michael Deer is there to receive her. And she's kicked out of heaven, much like Mr. Bean, and that's
Yeah.
yeah. Because I assume it was like, that's not a fucking deer, and like gets kicked out immediately. But
these slow motion sequences. There's one every episode so far.
Yeah.
Because there's one next week as well. These are my favorite gags.
They're
in the
like,
entire
I'm just running through it because it's like, I can't possibly describe why this is funny. It's very funny.
Yeah, well, they do the whole soul leaving her vibe, but she's kind of like, as she dies, she's like emitting steam, like her stand is leaving. It's like, no, now you know they're dead.
It's the fact that the angelic they're a different kind of photorealistic. They're like a painterly realistic angelic deers come down and like lift her up by her ghost antlers into heaven. Yes. I'm just like, and it's all done. It's really fucking funny. I don't know why, but it works so well. Yeah, I'm just describing how it went.
It's just a long wind up, to take forever ascending the golden shaft of light to those gates in the sky.
Yes,
it's so good.
And your brain has already gone to what the punchline is going to be. Is that you know it? She survived because she had deer crackers in her bra.
My top pocket was safekeeping.
When you let me out of that net earlier, I stuffed them in there, and it's like, I guess the thing. And then again repeated joke. It was like, but deer crackers aren't even hard, like that joke you made earlier in the thing. They're actually quite like just flaky, and it's just like, well, I guess you saved my sister.
They go really hard when they go stale. Yeah.
I guess you saved my sister, so I have to accept your sick relationship. And the deer's like, no, you gave me those crackers. It's like, gave? But like, so technically you saved your sister. It's like, we have come to an agreement. This is all fine.
Brilliant. No,
the
man,
crowd
that's
cheers.
Real humanity on display.
Our blonde girl is kind of like, what the fuck is going on? Why is this my life now?
Yes. But she resolves her final resolution. She's going to start wearing a bra every day.
Because that came up in the quiz. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, it is a very daft show. But
there's a bit there where it was edging a bit too close to the shout fest stuff when you have Shikanoko and Anko just screaming back and forth to each other across Koshita. And it's like, okay, tone it down. They can't be it all the time. But it's not it all the time, but just that they vary it up.
Yeah, if it was that the whole time, it would be a bit intolerable. But yeah, it's not. So.
Yeah. And answer the question, I thought when you saw the credits, it's like, why is that one character just basically like a color swap character design of the main character? Oh, turns out it's the sister. So yeah, that's all explained. More weirdos show up next week.
What?
Excellent.
Yes. Then it is talking of weirdos showing up. Kinnikuman Perfect Origin Arc, episode 1.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, based off of the last few arcs that I saw summarized in episode 0, it's just like,
happens a lot, apparently.
A bunch of weirdos show up. They're like, all right, fuckers, let's wrestle. And it's just like, no, we must wrestle for justice, not for evil. And then they become friends. But don't worry, it's never going to happen again because we're signing a peace treaty among the various peoples. Yeah.
There's a Justice Trojan, the Evil Trojan, and then like the perfect Trojan. But like then these guys
we've signed
no,
Earth,
we're like the
devil,
original perfect Trojan.
So no one can attack us. Like Earth, the Devil, and Space. That covers everything. We're all fucking good now. That's grand.
Nope, we didn't vote for this. We're the real perfect Trojan. We're like the original perfect Trojan, like the original recipe. And we don't endorse this. In fact, Neptune Man, I think he was a figurehead and did not speak for us as a whole. So this treaty is null and void. We're going to wrestle it to death.
And your man, what's the other guy who looks like Kinnikuman but isn't meat? The big guy.
I also get those dudes.
Yeah. But he shows up because he's like the administrator or something. Like he's got a lofty title for himself in this peace treaty. So he's like, oh, you guys have shown up to congratulate us on the peace treaty, and they're like, no, we've shown up to break the peace treaty using the rules of the peace treaty to break it. By breaking the peace treaty, we get kicked out of the peace accordance, right? So we're breaking the rules now by beating the shit out of and potentially murdering a bunch of the wrestlers, and they keep holding back freaking I can't think of his name, the blonde wrestler man.
Terry Man. No, Terry Man.
No, Terry Man, if you go, you'll break the treaty. And I was like, but they're breaking the treaty by murdering a bunch of our boys. Like, that's gotta be bad, right?
Just send in Tile Man. He's able to handle it. Nope, he cannot handle it. No, he's like nobody's going to really do it.
Oh, no. They not only changed Tile Man, some other guy, and shit on a urinal into fucking humans. Like
they've been stripped of their gimmicks. No, the worst fate for a wrestler.
He was just a man holding a urinal the whole time. Who could have thought?
Yeah. Well, but they got it easy. Geronimo gets fucked up.
Oh no, they just stab him a bunch. Like that'll sort him out. It's like no turning him into like a regular guy. Just like,
I'm gonna do my war cry, which you saw earlier in the episode was able to like completely cancel out a hurricane. Like, whoa, okay, cool. And they're just like, oh, well, that won't be a problem if you cut your fucking throat before you can do it.
Yeah, I guess that would fucking do it. So yeah, as established, they're supposed to use their powers from God to defeat hurricanes and smash trains that are about to hit a child and a puppy, rather than move the fucking child and puppy out of the way of the train, which I feel like would have been the best thing to do. But that's just me. I don't know, man. Like,
well, headline means child and puppy saved. Dozens killed, hundreds injured in train derailment. But puppy and child are okay.
But yeah, no, these guys have shown up and they're bad news. They have different violence powers that you're not used to. So watch out, I guess.
Well, some of them are like, they got very intimidating names, like, Turbo Man and Crush Man. And but Dalmatian Man and Peekaboo Man, they're going to be like the real, the real badasses here, because they're too strange to otherwise be in this group.
It's like, what's that phrase? It, like if there's a lamb that hangs out with the lions, that's a badass lamb or something like that. Yeah.
It's one badass bunny.
That was it, Cromarty. It was a bunny. You're quite right.
Oh god damn it! Is that another rabbit? No, it's not a main character.
No, it's them talking about rabbits.
It's a figurative rabbit, but if this rabbit were animated, it would feature quite prominently because they can so that'd be some badass bunny.
Yeah, the other thing which is confusing them is this gang are being led by Strong the Budo, who last time they let Strong the Budo, they unmasked him as Neptune King. So they're like, why is there another guy here?
No, he was Big Debudo. This is Strong Debudo, who has the
looks
exact
the
same
same.
costume and
Yes.
kind of like kendo fucking stick this thing going on.
Kendo stick shtick.
Yeah,
is
kendo stick.
that Blackbeard? Because he was doing the
Otsuka, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I was just like, I'm already good at the laugh.
We
Let me
need the
just fucking
biggest
bring it with
booming
me.
voice we could possibly get for this enormous gentleman.
Yeah. That's fine. He's allowed to use that laugh. That's his.
He's got a different kind of like syllabic laugh in this one.
It feels like a One Piece laugh, and I mean that entirely as a compliment, is what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah. So there are three Justice Chosen down. Who's it?
Well,
It's
four.
Tile Man, Curry Cook, and Benki Man. I mean, permanently down. They're not Justice Chosen anymore. They've been turned into
they're regular
humans
people now. Yeah.
Yeah, some of them after they've had their torso or back ground down to the bone on the Max Radial's huge tractor tire shoulders.
Hey, when they got turned into human, did that reverse the damage done to them as wrestlers? I fucking hope so, because I feel like that'll be them dead.
Yeah, because like one of them was impaled on like a kind of spiked fist, and also just then on the spikes rotated like at high G's at high speed.
No, that was
Geronimo.
Geronimo, yeah, Geronimo got his throat slashed, impaled on spikes, spun around, and then caught in a big metal fist. As far as I could tell, that guy's move was, it's like, haha, and then just drops him on the ground. I was like, you gotta have it more like it's really impressive when you grab him with those big metal octopus arms you have, but you just drop him on the floor. That's not cool. You gotta have a better finisher, man.
Yeah, I'm Crush Man, all right. I'm Crush things.
The other thing they establish is that a lot of the Justice Chosen are currently healing up in
that's why
pods.
Terry Man had to come here and sign the treaty, and he's like, this should have been Kinnikuman. It's like, Kinnikuman is on his home world. He can't make it right now. He made a promise never to come back to Earth for reasons I'm sure I would have known if I
focused on the monarchy, you know.
Yeah, he's got to do king shit. Yeah.
But I'm sure this will. So yeah, I think this is to set us up having to have like a bunch of the Akuma Chojin fill in the roles that would normally be filled in by the Justice Chojin.
Yeah.
You can't just go straight to Kinnikuman.
Sorry,
got
my
really
fucking
big.
light is getting incredibly bright. It's really fucking blinding. What the shit?
Oh. Yeah, sorry, Dave. So before Yurishige, so still he's can't turn it off sometimes. It's just it's
okay.
just divine.
I'm just gonna turn it off. It's fine. I'll just be pinker. It's fine.
You're very pink.
Yeah.
All this best seared your flesh. It was so bright.
But for now, at the end of this episode, it's up to Terry Man to step in and take the fight to these.
Again, I don't see how this is Terry Man breaking the treaty, because they're breaking the treaty pretty fucking hard, honestly. Like that's specifically what they've come here to do as well.
Yes. And because we've watched the episode 0, you're now thinking, how do we get from this to these guys inevitably becoming the allies of these guys for the next arc?
I'm sure they're all right. They just like stabbing people and spinning them around. That's perfectly normal.
Well, they don't keep all of them. They usually just keep the ones who pull the best.
Yes.
Oh, what's the guy who has the knight head? That's
Robin Mask.
Robin Mask.
Yeah. When it shows them all recuperating in their friggin' back to tanks, whatever the fuck. Yeah. They all have like, various medical devices on him, and he's got like a breather on over his knight fucking face, and I was just laughing really hard at that, man. That's some good shit. I did enjoy that.
Use some medical tape to kind of seal it off around the edge points. Yeah, come on, get it in there. But again, that's how I try to attempt to kind of place in a modern context. Now we gotta take care of our wrestlers. It can't be like wrestling against fucking Dalmatian man. Now he's gonna fuck them up. So you gotta make sure when they get fucking stay in their healing tank and dig it out, and not before they're healed up fully.
Yeah, wrestling would be better if they all had medical coverage. I think that's fair to say, right?
Wrestling would be better if I had more Marlin Man in it. He didn't even do anything yet. He's
just there being a creep. He's just waiting for him to do something cool. But that's the thing with all these guys. A bunch of weirdos show up. It's like, I can't wait to... And all of them demonstrate at least one move that they can do, basically. Yeah.
Yeah. Peekaboo, man, is just from back there. It's just like,
just wait.
I know from Senior Pink and Suitor Baby that, baby powers not to be underestimated.
Then we've got Mayonaka Punch, episode 2, starting a channel. Good morning from the dead of night. In which, yeah, they've started a channel. They're doing all sorts of vampire hijinks, and it's going amazingly well. They're going viral. The subscribers are rolling in, getting
I get
500,000 views.
I get she's searching like most popular pranks and all that kind of stuff, but the thing she's decided to take is they'll do this while eating the, what do you call those twist lollipop things? I can't think of the name of them.
Chupacs.
Yeah. And it's just like, why did you make that the theme of the channel? It's like, I don't fucking, it was going.
The Choo Choo Girls.
But they're all vampires. You could have made them the vampire girls. Like it was it was right
there. To get them enough trouble, like there was obviously enough on display here for saying, yeah, okay, yeah, you can put like ghost ride the whip and go card surfing with a broken pop. It's another thing entirely to kind of like hang like a bat from like a suspension bridge and then drop. You might be revealing our existence to the mortals, and like you gotta shut this channel down. I don't care about the views. You gotta get rid of it.
Yes, they turned into bats at one point while eating the lollipops. Yes, so then she wants to be called Yuki, but they keep on calling her a different name. This other vampire who we learn is at the same level rank as Live turns up and tells them, Mother says shut the channel down and stop fraternizing with the human.
We don't talk to the meat.
Well, it sounds like they shouldn't be training humans either, because they also end up getting in trouble for other things like stealing blood from hospitals.
Yeah, because one of the things she does show up with is a cooler full of blood, and I'm just like, so not because they're pathetic or anything. This is your regularly delivered fucking parcel of blood. Like, use it well. It's just like, wait, is there some sort of like don't attack humans pact? And so she's got to like, well, if I've made a deal with her,
it's been 20 years, so rules might have changed.
Yeah.
This is where it starts getting very what we do in the shadows of.
Yeah.
They are now a family of vampires who are the bad vampires in the eyes of the upper ranks of the
vampire society. Yeah.
Yes, we also meet Fu, who is a very quiet and timid vampire who also lives in this house, and it becomes part of their viral videos. So Misaki takes this very badly, yells at Yuki and attacks her with garlic mayonnaise.
Garlic sauce, yeah.
Doesn't kill them, but it does seem to break their brains.
Yeah.
So good enough. That gets her over here for a time being.
But we got to shut that channel down.
Yeah, she's still like, we got to shut the channel down. Yeah, sorry. It's like, ma'am said it, but it's like, I want to suck you dry. I want to eat that bone marrow like you promised me. And it's like, I didn't say nothing about bone marrow. You said dry, so that means every drop. It's just like, yeah, I can't do it now. That sucks.
Yes, this is what Live thinks, and this is what she says. But then the way she behaves in the second half is like, I don't think that's really why you want to go and hang out with Misaki and make YouTube videos, because she misses her and then goes and taps on her window and tries to convince her that we should still do a YouTube channel, but we'll do it. We just can't do our vampire.
Just gotta pivot. No. But now
we can't lean on the vampire part.
Now I get the rep out there because, of course, look, the choo-choo pop upside down, I found out the bridge, turning the bats and all that stuff running around. That was always going to go wear out fast because it's like, it's something more substantial. So now we gotta introduce ourselves, and leave it amazed by like this like, here's how you put up, make it each account, upload a whole video for and saying, wow, she's a real wizard at this whole thing. Like, impressed by she's a very kind of straight face, like, okay, yeah, here's the description, set tags, but saying, wow, she's pretty good at this. And doesn't want to be on camera though. I think I'll be from the shadows and be a producer. Maybe it's best I don't be in camera anymore. Seeing as the last few times that happened, I attacked my co-hosts on air.
And it her kind of going back to her house was like the sisters are talking about. It's like, can we just fucking take the equipment because she's not on the fucking channel anymore? Yeah, we're moving out. By the way. They're not. We get the thing of why she started doing the videos. They're not her actual sisters. They are friends from school who started doing the YouTubing, and they've been doing it for years. And it's like, but they're going off.
Thing, man.
They're taking all the stuff, and she's like, I can make this, but I can't be the one on front of the camera anymore. Like the comments are getting to her. Like it was all positive comments, and there was one shitty one who was like fake.
Yes.
And that was like getting to her. That was like, oh fuck, so she can't.
It's always like of 100 comments, 99 positive, glowing reviews, 5 out of 5 would watch again.
One down.
It's probably fake though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she's also still deliberately looking up bad comments about herself later on in the episode.
She's still searching her own name. Don't do that. That's never a good idea.
Brain poison, me calls it.
Yeah, so they do the new video, start the new channel, the way we go. Apparently they'll have a new person join the channel next episode.
Yeah.
There's some very good designs of shots which imitate video editing software and streaming software.
It's the idea that it's not a specific software thing, but it resembles it enough as like, I know what they're taking off, that kind of thing. It's very well done, yeah.
Oh god, like some of the setups I have for doing pounds or like that now, they're just like often this is like a kind of like a Frankenstein fucking cat and Mary like messing to tie into each other like that. It's just you put together something that rig up something that works for you, and it probably works for only you know how it works, but it works. Some things would be common and crossover for other people. Oh, I see. I use that too, but maybe not in the way that you each do. And just how it looks as well. Like, there's some great fucking just like wild reaction faces here. I was surprised to learn a little bit that the character designer was Tsukasa Kotobuki of Saber Marionette J and similar. I thought, wow, where have you been hiding all this time? Actually, in fairness, he's been doing work like recently. He was on Pop Team Epic, and he did a bit of animation for Dragon Quest Adventure of Die as well. So he's
okay.
Didn't just kind of fade away. He's been kind of doing little design, little things here. And I was like, oh man, he's one back. He's here.
Yeah, man, still a lot of fun. Still good crack.
Apparently, his Pixiv is warning not safe for work.
What?
That is correct.
Not him. No.
I was just having to double check whether it was the guy who draws the incredibly busty Pokemon ladies. It's not him, but there was somebody from that era who I was like, wonder what they're up to, and I clicked on their Pixiv and I was like, okay, that's what you're up to.
It's good money, man. It's good fucking money.
Oh, whatever I thought you were up to, that was not what I was expecting. This is a great show, great looking show, great written show. Because it's ostensibly about the YouTube stuff, but you can tell from Lee Vey, particularly the second half, when she wants to know about her victim. It seems very odd for somebody who just claimed you just want to drain all their blood out of them.
I feel like this is going to be more about new tubing than our prior vampire thing was about being vampires, because that was more about filmmaking. Even though it was that was not the plot, but that became the plot basically.
They already had a taste of success, and I know that, but they can't do.
They know it's possible.
They can't do that. They can't fast path anymore. So that means that you're going to need to kind of think of a get views quick scheme just via this particular format we're adopting here. And it's going to be like fucking wacky racist men. They're almost going to win. But it's going to get cut down in their prime. You're going to say some shit and lose subscribers and gotta deal with that.
Well, this is the other key thing from this episode is the vampires are having fun. And this seems surprising to Misaki. And then there's the question is Misaki having fun doing this? Has she forgotten in her attempt to get 1 million subscribers, in her attempts to argue with her former streamers about what they should and shouldn't be doing, that she lost sight of the fun she was having to begin with?
Yeah, see,
it used to be about the tubing, man.
Because initially, they met as in school as 3 girls who were both into the same channels, and they were like, we could make our own stuff, and they did it. It's like, wow, that was a lot of fun. It's like, yeah, let's make some more. And by starting this up from the ground up, it wasn't success you were actually chasing. It was the fun of doing it, and that's the thing you lost in success. Because the thing she mentions here is when we started the what was it called? The something girls, the something sisters channel. I can't think of the
hyped up sisters. The
hyped up sisters thing.
The Hana Cutie sisters.
Yeah. But he said when they started that up, like they were, it was easier to get like a lot more views because there was less big popular channels around, and it's like it's going to be more awkward to get to 1 million subs in modern things because there's so many fucking people to compete with, and it's like. Maybe that's what you need, though. Maybe you need to make it for the love of it rather than just trying to do it. I mean, like getting the fucking attention is great as well, of course. But
I was really fascinated too. Just like it was just like like a 5-second thing with a fun scene. Here's how those YouTube thumbnails are generated actually, and why they kind of are laid out in that way. It's like, oh, okay, right.
You do learn a little.
Unfortunately, some of this is like this is just fucking what the thing responds to. You like if you want to get it picked up, you gotta kind of lay it out in this way so it gets kind of caught up in the net you want to get caught up in. It's not the fun of it, but like if hoping people can kind of see past that to actual like the content, the fun you're actually having on the videos. So I hope people will see past that to the fun that they're having making these cartoons.
Like and it's a fun show. The jokes are fun. Like you're kind of getting into the characters and stuff. But like just the simple thing of her going like, "Hey, that bit where you did an awkward pause," and showing her edit that out, and I was like, "Oh yeah, that does flow a lot better." That kind of thing. It's just like, yeah, there is a method to it. Yeah.
Then we've got Chibi Godzilla Raids Again, Season 2, Episode 15. Chibi Mechagodzilla's Hidden Features. Is he just a domestic appliance?
He's not had it too good for too long. He's become accustomed to these fucking insane little chibi monsters, so he needs to be like, you need to give him an existential crisis to just shake things up a little bit because he's too used to them at this stage. Yeah. He has a setting where you can program when you want your rice cooked for tomorrow, like in hour increments. That's nice. That's pretty useful, right? He's like, wait a minute. That's not a kaiju thing. Hang on a fucking second.
Oh?
Poor guy.
Yeah, but he's got a freezer cannon. But yes, the conclusion is that he is an appliance.
He's got more appliance features than kaiju features, unfortunately. Yeah.
That's that. Then we got some more monsters in Sengoku Youko, episode 14, 1000 Demon Night March. I still haven't picked this up, so you'll have to tell me all about it.
Well, it's a brand new season, basically.
It's a whole new story. I think there's like kind of like little hints in there that kind of show there has been such a time has come by.
Yeah.
So a white-haired child, dreams of like, this a dragon, and dreams of being surrounded by demons and voices telling him what to do to kill stuff and fight stuff. And it's like, oh, obviously, but it's fine. He wakes up in this like little country shack. There's like a little moss yokai there, and there's like, you're awake. Oh, we've been asleep for quite some time. We found you outside there, and you've taken him in, but he has no memory of who he is. But the man here, he's like, she can introduce himself. I'm a wandering Ronin named Shinsuke. Everyone's saying Shinsuke, a wandering Ronin, like from the old thing. You've like been a couple of years since we last saw you, by the looks of you. You've developed quite a drinking problem, which understandably, it could be better or worse than becoming a sociopathic murderer, who's just like, I can't stop at the one kill, fun. I've avenged her, but the murder.
Him becoming an alcoholic, unfortunately, is an improvement over him being an edgelord towards the end of the last fucking season. It's like, yeah, it's a shitty improvement, but it is better because at least he's sociable. He is drinking socially. He is getting drunk off his ass socially. So that's better than it's like, my sword thirsts for blood. It's just like, yeah, that's a significant improvement. His sword doesn't even say anything in this fucking episode. So, things are getting a little better for him.
Well, remember, the voice was in his head. It's a magic sword, but it doesn't talk to you. It's just the voice is in your own head, buddy.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying he's improved a little. But the drinking problem needs to get on that. But yeah, he's like, oh, fuck, you don't have any memories. Cool. Go and find some kids to play with. And it's like, this is probably better. He doesn't remember the horrors that drove me to fucking drink. So, this is going to be good for him.
Yeah. The game seems going well. These like local kids seem all right. No fun. There's this girl that seems like, she's shy, but she shows him around. I guess she's finally someone who's like, more withdrawn than I am. Finally, I can be the kind of outgoing one. Like, this is gonna be great. Then like a mountain god comes down. It's just like appears as a dude in a hat, but then kind of bursts out into like it's made of rocks, something like that. Some kind.
What do you call those the things? I assume they're incredibly illegal now. It's like it's a little circle, and you set fire to it, and it starts like
One
shooting
of
out
those like the
ash.
snakes, yeah.
Yeah, like an ash snakey type thing. God, what the fuck are those things called?
I don't know.
I assume they're illegal because you'd set so many fucking things on fire with them, basically. But basically, he becomes like that, like a gigantic version of that. He's slicing up people and chopping up. And this is a village of humans and yokai living in harmony. Which is why it kind of sucks that this dude's coming in here ruining it. So,
yeah.
Hmm.
Suddenly just like, again, the voices inside him is surrounded by like, 1,000 demons everywhere it was. It's just like, yeah, everyone totally squat and kick our ass. We finally free that dragon, man. We can do whatever we want, man. They're kind of annoying actually. Because they have no fucking like vocal range besides shouting in your ear constantly. It's a cool visual, like, he's seen as this minus whole host of like fucking flickery, flaming demon shapes, but they're just always shouting, all of them at once. It's like, fun, lads, just elect one person to speak for you. It'd be much easier.
It does get across that there are 1,000 people, or 1,000 demons inside him, telling him to kill at all times. Which is kind of like, well, this sucks, but he's trying to fight this thing back and defend the people. But at one point, he gets like swatted away by him while his arms are in a particularly large and pointy thing, and
arrangement.
Yeah, and the kid's running away with her dad because her dad's like, "Come on, we got to get away from here," and like, run, and the dad gets sliced in two by our kid just randomly fucking like passing him by. Not his fault, but it was his claw blade type things that did it. So he's like, "Oh fuck, I killed my first friend's dad. That's not great."
Yeah,
But yeah,
it doesn't seem like they've quite picked up on that. It's just
yeah.
She seems to know, and even like, is sorry to see him like leave the village. It's like, like Shinsuke says, okay, it's probably about time we get out of here because
Yeah, they defeat that mountain god, and the god is like, "Hey, yeah, this is going to be other guys coming after you. I was looking for you specifically."
Well,
before
like
he dies.
he said, he was like, I was also totally hypnotized. I was
Yeah.
compelled to go out and do this. Please forgive me.
So yeah, Shinsuke's kind of like, yeah, we got to bounce, and like a lot of the people are like, "Hey, thanks for saving the village. It would have been worse if you hadn't tried to fight that monster." And even the kids are like, "Yeah, that was cool, thanks." And even the little girl is kind of like thanking him, but it's kind of like the thing of, it's like, but if I didn't come here, that guy wouldn't have came here looking for me to fight me, and then a lot of people wouldn't have died. And it's like, yep, that's why we're moving on from here, because we're only going to bring trouble here. It's not your fault for being what you are. Like, that's fine. But the other thing is, the little girl is kind of like, all right, thank you for saving everything. Also, you, Mr. Ronan, can I be your apprentice? And it's like,
I
what?
have nothing left here now. My family is all dead.
And
I think you could do me this solid and take me along and take, I'll pull me away, like, but I have nothing worth staying for here. I gotta go.
it's a nice kind of contrast of, you came to the town and trouble followed you, and the town should be mad at you. And it's like, they're not mad at you. It's like they're like, yeah, it's a shitty situation, but you did like do the best you could to save as many people as you could, and no one's mad at you, even though you feel really bad that you brought this doom and gloom on
Well,
town.
maybe Shinsuke thinks it's time for me to fucking probably get going too, because
Yes.
word is just all kind of happened that, like, in response to or the presence or the behest of the beast with 1,000 tails. Oh, he's out there, he's mean. I mean, that's Jinka. And it's just well, maybe it's been long enough now, and this word I've heard about it. Maybe it's about time I gotta go out and put down my old friend for good.
This is like a situation where he's like, I guess maybe I could leave the kid here and he could live like a happy life. And it's just like, let's just see if that'll work out. No, it does not fucking work out. Okay, fair enough. There's a few good bits as well, like where he's trying to fight the a bunch of demons that have kidnapped the kids.
They made like a little kind of a bandit party. They mentioned too that more yokai are kind of gang up and forming these little kind of bandit groups because they blew up like the Exorcist monk temple in the previous series, and now it's like not much of a force around to control these things.
Yeah, they're actually like pulling themselves together into groups because no one's going around murdering their asses. So that's working out pretty good for them. But kidnapping children isn't good when you have a Ronin samurai with a haunted sword, and it's like, oh god, I'm severely fucking hungover. I can't fucking. I was just like, there's funny bits like that. I was like, okay, so he still has shit he needs to get over and work on personally because you can see where it's kind of going from, and this would be nearly a good jumping on point. I'm not suggesting you do, Brian, but like it's like, oh, this is a brand new show now, but the other show was just all set up for the new thing. Like even the kid who's going to be, I guess, our main character is was a baddie in the last one, like just a guy who was apprentice to one of the main baddies. Like, yeah,
but it's like he seemingly everyone else has aged in real time, but he's remained the same.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just curious that one. It's been a couple of years, it feels like anyway. So and since like it wasn't just like we're a few months later, and this is it now? It's like there's some such event. So I'm kind of curious then, like like what it is and who else are going to run into again. How's all these like disparate guys? Because also like the fucking head monk and Tama's mom, the other fox thing, they're just on the run somewhere. They're like on the again on the lam, living from fucking inn to inn. Come on, baby, we gotta get out of here.
Yeah. There's fun they could do with it, and I'm kind of curious to see where they're going with it. I enjoyed the last season, so I'm willing to see what things are kind of going to pull, and they go slightly different than ways I expect. So it's good to
like music. I mean, he's a man for a slow build and for like upping the expectations of fun of it, and also like giving somebody like giving kind of reprehensible people, or if they've done reprehensible things, like I don't think Senny was fully like within his faculties when he was like going around chopping up dudes with demon arms. So giving kind of like put that like a second chance of things. I suppose Shinsuke in a sense, I suppose he killed to avenge somebody, so he's driven to it. But I suppose again he didn't fall into that pit of it again. So I guess that's showing one way out of it. Like he's a drunk and all, but he's still got the moves. He can still like do the thing.
Yep.
So yeah, we'll see where the kind of build up on into now. Presumably this is going to be a middle section, so presumably the probably a third one down the line. So this, I suppose, give it that kind of like that leeway now. This is going to be a middle chapter, like the comfort. So that means it'll probably end in an even bigger bummer than the last one. So prepare for that too.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
Then we got Suicide Squad Isekai episode 6. Still those episode titles. Yes, our heroes discovered in the last episode that all their orc and ogre friends had been killed by the elves, who are being led by the Thinker and Enchantress.
Not the ones from Marvel, the other ones. Like, it's always confusing to me that like it's just like some names are just generic enough that they cross the border, I guess.
Yeah.
And I guess everyone comes a cropper except for Harley. The three main villains in the Suicide Squad. Because again, Rick Flag does not get involved because he's left holding the dragon. They get attacked by the Thinker, and who pokes around in their heads and confronts them with their worst fears. I think Clayface is that he can only perform in an audience that he's constructed himself out of clay.
And they think he's fucking crap.
Yes.
Deadshot is away from his daughter.
Yeah, his daughter discovers what he's done and has got a gun and is going to shoot him. Yeah. And,
my daughter's becoming me. Oh no, I suck. I'm a terrible person. Yeah.
Peacemaker's being haunted by
everybody,
all the people he's failed to save.
All the peace he's failed to keep, which is a lot when you think about it. Yeah.
Because really the thing he normally gets haunted by would that make the story far more complicated, so better give him that thing rather than his Nazi dad.
It sums it up. Yeah.
Yes, and Nomue has the problem that he gets his ass kicked by some underwater monsters.
What's
Damn
fucking
it.
cool about that is because like you have, it's obviously your thinker is like I'm mind controlling all the elves to work as my army, and therefore they're working in unison and working far better than they would as units and that kind of. I was like, that's cool. But then it's like, all right, I'm gonna bite through your enchantment shield, enchantress, because I'm a big shark and I can just bite. That's my plan. And it's like gets knocked in the water, and it's like, you get knocked in the water. Now it's time for Jesus, it's Killer Croc and a Leviathan. All right, fuck.
Damn it.
I'm in a lot of trouble.
I'm getting beaten up with a dude I'm standing in for.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like ideally it's like he's in his element, but then two other fuckers are in their element as well. It's like, that's not fair.
Original is still the best, baby. Wham.
Killer Croc fucking throwing the punches is like that is exactly my jam. But also like the Leviathan is like
It's
somehow
weird
ugly
looking.
one. It's an uglier one from Jason and the Argonauts because it's got like the guy face kind of thing, and I was like,
It has
that's
human
good.
teeth and too many of them.
It's good. It's good.
It is like like a almost like a starfish mouth because they got human teeth, looking teeth, and it's like underwater nasty joke. They're really good at being a Suicide Squad.
Yes, so Thinker kills the three lads.
Well, the enchantress is kind of like, stop dicking around with him. It's like, you said you just fucking do the job. And he's like, oh yeah, that's right. Enchantress me that gun over here. I'm just going to fucking shoot them. It's not a very clever plan, but it'll work.
And they blow up Harley, but then they leave, but then they discover that they didn't die because Enchantress had enchanted the bullets. So what is Enchantress actually up to? Because Harley and her have a
appreciate them going to like Deadshot. Did you
confrontation.
rig your guns so they couldn't kill you? And he's like, no, they're just guns. What are you talking about?
You're pretty good at guns. Just figured, reasonable expectation, right?
Flag gets them to back off by going, well, are you sure you don't have bombs in your head? I can press this button and we can find out.
I got the remote control right here. I can just press it. And they're like, we're not 100% sure, so we are going to fucking, like, you would have set them off by now. It's like, would I though? Think about it. And they're like, can't risk it. I mean, like, what if it is not a timer one, it's an activation one? Yeah, okay, we'll back off for now.
So let's report back and immediately get put back in prison again.
For at least they get put in prison for fucking up this time, because the fort that they were sent to save was saved and is now completely in ruins. But the queen is using them as a patsy because she's like, well, we shouldn't have used outsiders, and it's their fault because it's not our army's fault. We should have put our army in there in the first place. So let's execute them as an example to the army to not fuck up, or I'll execute.
Mother, I think we should. No one wants to care what you think. The last time you did anything or mentioned anything or opened your big fucking mouth, a child got murdered by the soldiers.
Yes, because we get that flashback. Arthur the dragon tries to break them out of jail, but his breath is not strong enough to melt steel bars. But Cecil the knight comes and lets them out because the princess. He explains, this is fucked up, mate. You've done nothing wrong.
You guys
are doing all right.
You're using your cheat weapons to cheat and be cheap bastards, but this is fucked up. You didn't do anything fucking wrong here. It would be wrong to let you fucking get executed by the queen. And it was just like, wait, Cecil, are you cool? It's like, yes, he was cool all the time. How did you not see that?
It's just like, just...
No, I mean, like, he's a nice guy is what I'm saying.
You keep putting out the hairline thing, fellas. It wasn't very nice of you.
Everyone ages. It's not, it'll catch you.
And so it's the way and Deadshot. They're suffering a crisis of confidence, and Deadshot tries to make him more confident by pulling one of his shark's teeth out to use as a metaphor to say, "Hey, sharks grow their teeth back. You can grow your balls back." But instead, he just cuts his hand and then has to explain his metaphor and what he was trying to do.
To Clayface.
Goes, no, cool. You gotta sell it. There's a drama for one thing. No, you see, you've pluck my teeth out, it'll grow right back. It's just like, oh, what's wrong? That hurts. That hurt you from your teeth on it'll grow back, but it still hurts. Bite you now.
He chases Clayface out the open cage, and I was like, well, I guess that got him out of prison.
Guess we're jailbreaking now. That's Sam's Gray.
Okay.
In a carriage, and luckily all through this, Peacemaker's been thinking, and he's got a plan.
He's been staying quiet. It's like, I've been considering our plan. It's like, is that why you shut the fuck up this whole episode? Yeah, basically. I've come up with a solution to our problem. Does it involve murder, Peacemaker? It's like, yes, it's definitely going to involve murder, I would assume.
Like technically, he's good for being like, he can be very arch like deal with, but also he just has this like very consistent, authoritative kind of booming kind of deadpan, like Uncle from Another World. It's just like, I have a plan right now. Tell me very, very carefully. It's for all about peace. We're delivering the peace. I'm all about peace.
Meanwhile, Thinker, because he was in their minds, he knows they've got to go back to the gates to get the bomb reset, so he builds a castle in front of the gate.
Yeah. So he's like, I don't even have to fucking chase these guns down. They have to come back here within, what is it, like 72 hours or something like that. So
probably less than that nowadays.
Less than that now, within that time bracket, basically. Yeah.
So, yeah, presumably a lot of elves are getting killed next episode.
Oh, yeah.
The other funny thing is, I think the characters, I think Peacemaker definitely realized at one point, it's like, wait, these elves are being mind controlled. But that didn't stop him from using the elf as a fucking meat shield against the fucking magic and shit. I was just like, oh no, innocent elves. I was like, yeah, I am protecting the peace though. They're still bastards. Like that is very clear.
They're elves. Probably fucking have been like, stepping on fucking orcs for no reason at all. They got notions, all right? It's about time someone put them in place.
Yeah, it also dawned on me watching this time is with the Queen's makeup gives her a Joker like effect as well.
Just the two little dots,
dots on the thing, yeah.
There's a lot of purple, yeah. Very flamboyant. Very, very prone to mood swings, very accent those. So yeah, this.
And kills a lot of people on purpose by order, like, which is very Joker. Yeah.
And that's it for Suicide Squad Isekai for this week. You may be spoiled on episode 8, I think, possibly by YouTube thumbnails.
It's a good thing to watch it on YouTube then.
Then finally, Dungeon People, episode 3, The Ice Wolf's Fangs, in which gentle comedy continues to the point where I'm like, I could possibly not watch this.
It's fine. It's good, but like, yeah, I get you.
I wouldn't notice the difference.
It's for something that has so much violence in it, or attempted violence. Yeah.
No, this one gets back to the violence, like actual fucking violence, which I did enjoy. I was just like, oh yeah, I forgot. This can be incredibly fucked up despite how it looks and feels all the rest of the time.
And essentially wouldn't it be nice when you're DMing a Dungeons and Dragons adventure to have somebody help you out? It seems to be the show, because the Magic 3-panel mirror is essentially just a GM screen.
It's not even a GM screen. It's like 3 fucking tablets put up against, because she's showing how you can pinch and zoom and shit. And I was just like, fucking good shit.
But the sort of thing she's got on there are the sort of things you have on the GM screen.
Yeah. Like you can bring up the stats, you can track the guys, you can like change the view and everything. Yeah.
Pizza order in a tab in one corner. It's on the way. You see the little counter. Yep, GPS coming in soon.
It did make me ponder if I was still GMing Dungeons and Dragons games these days, would I be tempted to pick up 3 really cheap tablets just for the purpose of fashioning a GM screen along these lines? And I thought, no, because I don't want to have to charge up 3 bloody tablets before I go to do a session.
No. I think like 2 windows, paper and shit, and 1 tablet probably would be the best way. But yeah.
2, just 2 big monitors, and you just put the cardboard in front of it.
It's the touch screen that's making it nice. You know what I mean? I know what you're
saying. You
can
get touchscreen monitors. You get those too.
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's taking it around your friend's house to run the game. It's the.
I think it's honestly like a much better idea, because if you have the group and everything, that would be good for it. Like having co-GMs is really fucking. It's a good idea if you can run it that way.
You just gotta fit it all inside like a silver attaché case, like Kaiba does. He fits everything he needs in an attaché case. Any kind of gaming, he's ready.
But like even in this one, it's like instead of like co-GMing, because I guess in this world, because it's a bit video gaming as well, the monsters are they're their own monsters. But she literally goes like, here's a character all statted up. You just fucking do this one, and you be the monster for this fucking thing, and I'll just leave you. I'll go fucking hands free. And I was just like, yeah, co-GMing. It's a fucking solid strategy.
Yeah, it's a bit like, I don't know if you ever played multi on on a multiplayer server for Neverwinter Nights. It's a people would do that there, where it would be a bunch of people would run things, and some people would be the monsters for the time. But so this is essentially she takes the place of a skeleton. She's working alongside some other skeletons and a lich in level 7, and they're facing the party, the Ice Wolf's Fangs, and it's kind of like the difference between a party of 5 people who get along and her who live attack these dungeons on her own, and also we see occasionally had to murder other adventurers.
Yeah, because it's just like the thing of like, oh, these guys have gotten the furthest down, but they always back off before they get in over their heads. The Ice Wolf Fangs. They tried to hit on me once. I was like, I think they were just trying to recruit you, dude. But
well, probably should open book and said, "Hey, girl, why don't you join our party?" It's like, you can say it sends the wrong impression.
Yeah, no, he definitely came across wrong. And also, we see her experience where there was some other party going like, "Hey, there's a girl in the dungeon. Let's do a sex crime." and you're like, Jesus Christ, that's fucked up. But then it shows her like cleaning her knife after fucking killing all those guns, and I was like, okay, I forgot you're like this sometimes, show, because none of the monsters die. They're all perfectly safe in the ready room. But these guns, they're dead.
I was raised by my dad again. To be warned that. Well, you're my daughter, I know, funny, you should probably, try to get trouble. But there's some real creepos out there, so do what you have to. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Not clear.
If you gotta murder a guy, do it in the dungeon where nobody can see. Yeah. So yeah, but her being a skeleton and just the rules of it, because they got the skeleton stat block, so you can drop your sword because that's an item, but the shield, that's just part of your arm. And she's like, okay, and I have a different like set of strengths and shit than I could usually do, but that means that they're facing off against a lich, 2 skeletons, and 1 really fucking badass skeleton. They're like, oh shit, that's a problem.
It has red eyes, which how you know it's a more powerful skeleton.
But yeah, and just the thing of them discussing is like, all right, you guys keep her occupied. I'm going to charge up a fireball and throw it at him. And her realizing this later on is like, so the monsters can hear you strategizing out loud. So like, don't just say, all right, guys, I'll do a fireball. You just bunch them all together. Because the monsters,
the line later on where they're discussing it and they go, when you carry out a plan verbally around the dungeon monsters, they'll overhear it. And I'm sure I've heard a GM tell us that when we complained that the monsters
I wasn't
were
saying that in character. Yeah,
they can't talk to you, but they can listen. So bear that in mind.
Yeah, sensibly. It's a sensibly ran dungeon, as we see, and the lich is also kind of curious because, like, I want to see like when I was assigned level 7, I was just like, I'm a fucking lich. I should be fucking further up but this human got down to fucking level 9 or level 8, and I was just like, yeah, I want to see what she's like. And he's like, I'm happy at level 7. That's fucking grand for me, the lich. Fuck.
I was gonna for that 3 promotion all along, but maybe I was just like, happiness was right in front of me. Enjoy what you have.
And even I love that lich as an incidental character where he's just like, I'm just gonna hang back and watch, and you do your thing. And at one stage he gets hit by a fucking like knife in the head, and he's like, I am a skeleton, so it's fine.
No big deal. Sorry, no. I can just see like that very like very established. Like here's a fella who's like been in the company for a long time. Here, let me show you around. Sure, I'll let you off now. Like it's like like stable conditions here. I'll let you like show us what you got. Learning the job as they say.
And he's essentially showing someone who is like far above him in the fucking totem pole. It's just like how like showing the business. And he's like, yeah, you are way above my pay grade.
Yes, that's what a degree gets. That's like I worked up here from the fucking from the catacombs. That's what we did it back then.
But yeah, it's all very like soft and enjoyable. Like the jokes are good, but like I get what you're saying, Brian. It's like there's other things that you kind of get a little more excited about. But it's all like really good. I don't want to disparage the show at all.
It's the thing. It just came to the end of this week. It was like, did I watch Dungeon People?
Yeah.
Whereas the other stuff, I mean, Kinnikuman I was like, I knew the shape of it, but that was the first thing I watched, and now I'm just going to make sure I watch everything close to when we record, just so that stays in my mind. I think I was still super excited and keen to watching everything straight away. But yeah, the end of this episode is just the girls chatting again and getting embarrassed and like, what should I call you? It's Belle, and then getting after she's going, how can I call you Belle? Okay, right, Belle, and then you should do more work. Is your final punchline.
It's kind of like, and again, it was kind of that chill vibe you get when you're running like a tabletop and you have to do it. It's like leave a bit after the session to have a chat. It's like, hey, that was pretty good. I like what that bit there. You know, the post game chat, that kind of thing. But the idea that it's like you gotta have more than one encounter a session, like that's like
That's true. Yes,
it felt kind of like that, where it's like genuine critique as well. Like it's like we're all friends here, but yeah.
I've definitely it's like session Rifts particular. It was like infamous one session where everybody spent the entire session shopping except me because I was a wizard. I didn't need to buy anything. Where you're all weirdo cyborgs and wearing power armor, so of course you're going through the shopping lists, going,
how many micro missiles to me fitness? Yeah, well, naturally a lot.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't need anything. I'll just pull it out my ass with a wand. Yes, occasionally, sometimes the mechanics of a game can lead things to go astray. And that's it for this week. Next week, Detective Conan's back with a canon Conan, which I think the reason they have skipped an arc may be because the character they haven't revoiced yet shows up right at the end of that arc. So
so let's keep that one on the back burner for a bit.
Yes, until we've got a new voice. It's a pretty good.
We need another old heartthrob.
Yeah, or maybe just an old actor who isn't horny. Might be an idea.
Wild fucking thought.
Or a young heartthrob.
What if they get a young man to play this young man? Like it's possible, right?
It is possible. Yeah, in fact, generally, I feel like when you've run that long, eventually you have to start replacing actors, which I guess they had to do early on.
They have done numerous times.
Yes.
Yeah, they've had to. Yeah, sure.
But not as many as One Piece has.
I mean, that's because One Piece has thousands of characters, so that's going to happen as well.
Also going to have to replace that actor. Did I watch One Piece this week? I think I watched One Piece for this week's. Yes, I think I did.
I watched a lot of old One Piece. So I was putting clips for panels, but that doesn't count.
I think it's because it was the start of the because it was Shanks versus Kid. That's why I watched it.
Fuck! I forgot to watch that one. That's probably gonna. It does look good. I'm hoping it looks good.
I keep thinking that's already happened, but I'm thinking no, that was Blackbeard messing up law, because that happened sort of contemporaneously in my mind.
So this time it was Shanks messing up Kid. Worse than Blackbeard messed up law, because it plays out in a way where I was like, oh, this isn't quite making Shanks seem like the absolute bastard it came across in the comic. And then by the end of it, I was like, oh no, he still seems like an incredibly dangerous man by the end of this episode.
He is a pirate, Ryan.
He is a pirate.
Fair, you're going up against Kid, who is one of the fucking new generation, who is like, I will kill a bitch. My second command, his name is Killer. What the fuck do you think? I'm not here to fuck around.
He can't stop laughing maniacally anymore from all like the trauma he's been through.
Yeah.
But the reason it feels bad is because Kid has only thought that he's going to be doing this. He gets killed because he had a thought, and because of Shanks' observation hacking being so high, he could foresee what Kid was going to do and kill him before he has a chance to do it. That's why he seems so mean by the end of the episode.
Right. Fuck.
But as he points out, it's like, you chose to attack an island, so don't be. Because when they're begging him, can we just let her take her captain, his right-hand man, back? We'll give you all these poneglyphs. Just let us go. And he's like, nope, you attack this island, so the island gets to attack you back, boys. And then Dory and Brogy just swing their axes on shore, and the air is enough to destroy the ship.
Yeah, I wonder what Luffy will think of that when, like, because Dory and Brogy just should turn up the phone and say, "Hey, bro, what's this doing?" Oh yeah, that dude was a friend of yours. Oh, well, bad news.
We mightn't have established since we talk about being giants so much, but we are also Vikings, and as you know about Vikings, a bunch of murder.
I
A
think you can get a real
whole
sense
bunch.
of the generational difference here between heroes like, ones from Shanks' days, and there's like, the so-called worst generation. Where actually, most of them are kind of nice.
Yeah, most of them are pretty decent.
They want, like, right injustices.
Except Kid.
Yes,
who
that's the
we
point.
Know, we know was established on his first appearance is horrible. We just got to like him in the last arc, so therefore it feels bad when we see.
And it's the other thing when it's Cade against like fighting with the Straw Hats against Kaido and Big Mom, who are awful, like worse than him, because he's just a murderer, probably a mass murderer. They're worse somehow. So it's kind of like, okay, yeah, fair enough. But when he's just doing murdering, it's like, that's not cool.
Also, you got the feeling with him and Killer is like he would be worse if Killer wasn't there.
Somehow, yeah.
The one called Killer is actually the calm and sane one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Keeping him down, keeping him level. A little bit of killing, just for a treat. Yeah.
But yeah, it looks good. And then next week it is Kobe on Fuller Lead Island.
Oh yeah, I've got one.
Some more insane fights. Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Also, all the wimpy pirates who are in Shanks's fleet, they were all really funny. Seeing them performed as well.
Yeah, but I keep thinking of that bit in the last movie where it's like, come on, when's the monkey going to do something? Let him shoot his laser mouth. Come on.
That's a good point. I don't think we see the monkey in this.
What the fuck?
Oh, if you wanted more, I mean more monkey.
Yeah, it's kind of pretty much focused on Shanks. I think Ben's there briefly, just reading a newspaper. Well, they lets the chief get on with it. Yeah, that's it though. That was the only additional thing from this week I saw. So let's wrap it up there. Ta-ra for now.
Sounds good. Later, game.